Aquaba family, greetings and welcome. This is our evening portion of our Fawohodie Sriya special Walimu workshop presentation. Our Walimu this week and next Sunday are giving special workshops to promote their upcoming fall 2016 courses, and they are excellent. So those who are listening right now, we say greetings, welcome, and Medasi, thank you for being here. And then those who will be coming in and or listening at this presentation at a later time, we say Medasi, thank you to you as well. We just want to take just a moment to silence ourselves to honor those who have come before us. We have some recent people who have transitioned, our Honorable Dr. Sabi and others, but just want to take a few cleansing breaths and a heartfelt honoring of those who've come before us. And we ask for their spirit, their energy, their courage, their insight and fortitude, their whole being to be with us at this time and help us to navigate through these very, very difficult, challenging times and see it through to the end till victory. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Give thanks. This is an African pledge. One thing that we do in just about all of our classes, in fact, all of the classes at Fawohodie, we encourage and we do have some type of ritual that we like to do, particularly in our classes. Giving honor to our ancestors is one that should always be done. And there's a whole multitude of things. Tonight, I wanted us to look at this African pledge, say it in unison, and then we'll move on to our guest presenter, both guest presenters, but one in particular tonight. So if you don't mind, I will ask for you to unmute your mics, and on the count of three, we will go through this African pledge together. And on the other side, may we be fortified and full of righteous and energized spirit in us. So, Muja, Bili, Tatu, let us begin. We are an African people. We will remember the humanity, glory, and suffering of our ancestors. We will honor the struggles of our elders. We will strive to bring new values and new life to our people and children. We will have peace and harmony among us. We will be loving, sharing, and creative. We will work, study, and listen so we may learn, learn so we may teach. We will cultivate self-reliance. We will struggle to resurrect and unify our homeland. We will have discipline, patience, devotion, and courage. We will live as models to provide new directions for our people. We will be free and self-determining. We are an African people. We will win and we have won. We will win and we have won. We will win and we have won. Ashe. Ashe. Medasi for that. Not only do we have presentations, the first of two sets of Walimu presentations, but for your information, everybody, this is first day of Fawohodie Sriya registration. And registration will continue right up until a week before our classes begin. So registration officially ends September 11th. So we encourage everyone to go on over to fawhodiesriya.com, check out our classes, and definitely register. Just about everything is up and just waiting for you to make a decision and then complete your transactions. A full list of our classes are in front of you, but a full list without question is already up at our website. So if you need to refocus and check out the classes again, just go on over to our website. It's right there on our front page. This is this is our adjusted schedule for our workshop presentations. As you can see, Baba Baye will be actually presenting tonight, right after I get through speaking. And then next Sunday, starting at 1 p.m., we have Nana Akosua with her introduction to African spirituality, Ina Eka with her African agriculture, and Ina Akuya with her introduction to the Caribbean and her people. And then in the evening time, starting at 6, Baba Amansef with his 2 classes, African Manhood and African Family Survival and Preparedness. Then right after him is Baba Tahimba with his Black Science Fiction, Imagining African Sovereign Nation. And then lastly with Mama Nikita and her Elements in Me class. So I encourage everyone to come on over. It's in the same place where we're meeting tonight, the Imhotep room. This is where we'll be next Sunday as well. I just want to give thanks to Baba Samoras, to him personally, and his brilliant presentation earlier this afternoon. It was very, very informative, and it is recorded. So by request, just send me an email. If you do happen to come on in, type it in the chat room to let me know that you want a recording of his presentation this evening. But give thanks, Baba Samora. Tonight, very shortly, we will be listening to Brother Baba Baye Kemit of the Garvey School, Egun Omode, and many, many, many things that he does, but he has really, really graced our presence at Fawohodie Sriya. I was really pleasantly surprised that he wanted to teach with us, but he recognizes, just like everyone, all of us, just how crucial and needed our children need the type of leadership that many of them are not getting. He's definitely a leader. He definitely has a lot of teaching experience. He has a beautiful family of his own. So he really does come from a center of experience and just about internalizes, I would say, internalize everything that he says. So before he comes on, let me see if there's anything else. I will have a presentation next week. I'll just give something briefly. And I believe that's it. So without any further delay, I'd like to bring our guest presenter tonight, Baba Baye Kemit. So Akwaba, welcome.
Okay, Adupe. Thank you. Glad to be here. Glad to be a part of the family. And, we send greetings from the Garvey School, Egun Omode Shule, here in Trenton, New Jersey. So what I want to do, just opening up, is I want to start with the description for the class that was submitted, just so that we can familiarize people with the class I'm going to be teaching. And it's called the African Experience Part 1. It will be on Fridays from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. And the African Experience Part 1 is a 10-week course in which students will take our historical journey through Africa from antiquity to the fall of the Songhai Empire. And we may actually, looking at the class, I may go a little further into the maybe 17 or 1800s, but I don't want to go too far in because I have to leave room for a part two. But depending on the students and what they know and where they are, we may go just a little bit further. And then in part two, I may just overlap with that, starting with where we left off and continuing. So, as I was, writing the description and as I began to write the syllabus, I began to realize that I can add a little bit more. Class will begin with the Nile Valley civilization and journey west, central, and south to explore cultures, events, geography, spirituality, and more. Students will be given 1 quiz, 2 tests, and I may change that to 2 quizzes and 1 test, and a genealogical project to complete using PowerPoint. There will be a basic introduction to Medu Necher and Yoruba language and culture. At the end of the semester, your child will have a fervor for traveling to Africa and a deeper connection to African traditions and customs. And so, beginning with this, beginning with the description, I thought it was important to, obviously to begin with the Nile Valley civilization. And I didn't mention ancient Kemit alone, because what I find is that too often we marginalize Africa and Nile Valley by giving Kemit all of the credit. And as Dr. John Henry Clark said, that Kemit was very important, but it was a rehearsal stage. That much of what was presented and what we know in ancient Kemit was brought to us before that through Nubia. And so, I want to just introduce children to the Nile Valley civilization with Nubia, Kush, and Kemit, and give them a geographical perspective of the land, what the people did culturally, and then in that we will introduce Medu Necher. So we'll just very quickly or briefly just introduce some of the Necher, some of the concepts, and give people an understanding of what what it was. So just try to get them out of the concept of hieroglyphics, get them out of the concept of King Tut, for example, whose name was King Tut Ankh Amen. And so if we break down Tut, Ankh, and Amen, it has a greater meaning than just King Tut. So just getting them out of what we've been taught in public schools and what we've been taught in television, things of that nature. As we move from the Nile Valley civilization, I purposely wrote South, East, and West because I wanted people to understand that sometimes we have a understanding that people just went from the Nile Valley civilization to West Africa, and that they didn't actually go or go anywhere else, or that African people weren't present in other parts of Africa even before the Nile Valley civilization. So I want to just open them up to a concept of what black is, and that black, what their understanding of what when ancient people called themselves the land of the blacks or the black-skinned people. That black wasn't just a color. That black was a concept, that it was a consciousness, that it dealt with cosmology, so that they, really just make a broader connection to who they are as African people. And as we travel west, travel south, travel east, 1, we're going to be dealing with geography, but 2, we'll just be dealing with different cultural groups and people, and just introducing them to them, and maybe something that is familiar with them or something that they may know. So again, a lot of this is going to be judged on who the students are, their age groups, what they know, what they don't know, what their prior information is. If I have a group that are, pretty introductory or maybe starting out or maybe know some small things, and I can go a little slower. But if I get a group of Pan-African children, I have to go a little quicker, and I'm prepared to do that. And so as we go west, after we go through all the various geographical locations, as we go west, we'll begin to study Ghana, Mali, and Songhai, and we'll deal with the various Ghanas, the various kings from that area. We'll talk about Ghana, we'll talk about Mali separately, and we'll talk about Songhai. We'll talk about the journey of Mansa Musa to the east, all the way to to Saudi Arabia, to Mecca, and just what he did and what his impact was on Africa and the world. That he is reportedly the world's richest man, and what he did to ancient Kemit and how he collapsed the economy for 12 years and distributing so much gold, throughout the east part of Africa. So we'll get into that. That might take us 2 weeks, and maybe take us 3 weeks to really deal with Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. And I may just take a week of each. Just deal with Ghana 1 week, the next week deal with Mali, the next week deal with Songhai. In that, some of the weeks I'm just going to deal with geography. So or maybe just take a class and just deal with geography, so children can just have a greater understanding of Africa. I did miss that in the beginning class. I'm going to deal with a lot with terminology. So getting them to understand Africa, the word Africa, where it comes from, getting them to understand the word Akebulan, understand Ethiopia, how Europeans at one time used these various terms to name all of Africa, but really they were only dealing with a region, a certain northern or northeastern part of Africa, or northwest. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to give them a set of terminology at the beginning that they're going to have to know, and then I'll have a quiz around week 3 or 4, and then I'll somewhere around week 3 or 4 I will introduce to them their project that they're going to have to do. It'll be a genealogical project, again, based on the kind of students that we have. I may curtail it, or I may give some students one type of project and one student another type of project, depending on what they've completed already. So I know our students in our schools have done their maternal and paternal research as far back as they have gone. And then every year we do some type of genealogical project. So some years we may have them interview a great aunt. Some years we may have them interview a grandmother, a grandfather, or some years we may have them actually do the ancestral research of just names of all the people. So it just really all depends on where people are, but they will have to present on PowerPoint. So I'll do a brief tutorial of PowerPoint to basically show them, just some basic things of PowerPoint. But of course, the parents will have to continue that process, and it's very basic. I mean, I do PowerPoint with elementary students, quite frequently. So we'll do that, and that will probably put us around week 6 or 7 or so, and then once we get around week 7 or 8, we'll have another quiz. After the quiz, we'll always go back to reviewing information from weeks prior, what have you. We'll go over geography, and that will lead us up into Africa is under attack. So after we do Ghana, Mali, and Songhai, I would like to move sort of closely to the Portuguese coming into West Africa and start introducing them to the to just Africans being under attack. Africans having to deal with outside influences of Europeans coming in and just introducing them to that. And that is what my initial plan was, to stop somewhere around that time, because 1590 is the fall of the Songhai Empire, and that will put us 100 years past the time that the Portuguese had entered into West Africa. And so so they do kind of overlap, is what I was thinking about when I was doing the syllabus. But I don't want to go too far into the European slave trade, because I want to leave that for the second half. So that's where I am. I can't hear you.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that. Mama Foriwa, if you look in your chat, you have a question. She says, how will you determine the knowledge base of your students? Will you do an oral pretest?
I'm sorry, say it again.
She says, Mama Foriwa asks, how will you determine the knowledge base of the students? Will you do an oral pretest?
I'm sorry, I'm here. I will do, the plan was to do a pretest. So, but again, it really will depend on who the students are. So if I know that they're coming from a certain institution or what have you, if I know them, then I will probably just assess that knowledge and move them along. But if it's a new student, I don't know them, anything, I would do a pretest. And I have, a few, our historical pretests that I can give them. Yes.
Okay, give thanks. Mama, first of all, Baba, Baye, your webcam is off. I don't know if you want to bring it back up. Okay, there you are. She says, give thanks. I maybe at this time, we do
Yeah,
have Anne.
but I'm here.
Okay, no problem, no problem. However you want to present it, it's fine. We are moving right along. What we didn't do at the beginning, if you don't mind, I'd like for those who are in your room right now to introduce themselves briefly. And in fact, you can start off by just letting us know a little bit about who you are as well. My introduction to you was very, 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 very minimal, and maybe there's some things just to give a little bit of background, who you are and how you got to this point right now, wearing the different hats that you do, and teaching with us at Fawohodie. And then after Baba gives a little bit of introduction, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I do want to say greetings, Mama Tanya, for being here today, and Mama Foriwa again, Midasi, Ma Inakwia. I see you're still up, so if you have the opportunity to pop in for a second, go ahead. But we understand that you are a little occupied as well. So Baba Baye, if you would.
Um, I'm sorry, I was responding to one of the messages. So basically, you want me to just give an introduction of who I am and how I came to get here?
Nay, yes, Benny.
Okay, so again, Baye Kemit. I am the principal and founder of the Garvey School, which is an African-centered school in Trenton, New Jersey. African-centered high school. Egun Omode Shule is our elementary, middle school component of our institution. And I am from Trenton, New Jersey. I'm a proud graduate of Clark Atlanta University, and I have a master's degree from Temple University in Education Administration. I have an undergrad degree in Education History. I'm sorry, History Education, backwards. And then I have a master's degree in Education Administration. And so I started out teaching in Philadelphia at a charter school for 3 years, and then I came back home to Trenton, and I was working as an administrator. I was working as an administrator at a public charter high school for 1 year, and then I began to build and develop the Garvey School. And so I have been working at the Garvey School now since 2003. We opened the Garvey School. And in 2007, I was joined by my wife, who has been a part of the institution and who's still a part of the institution. And so I am also the co-facilitator or facilitator of the Council of Independent Black Institutions, and have just been a part of the African Center community, Pan-African community for some time now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, give thanks.
Oh, and then so lastly, our students took a class last year with Fawohodie. We took Baba Samora's class. The class is.
I see an entrepreneur in you.
Says I see an entrepreneur. I want to say the correct name, but I see an entrepreneur in you. It was an excellent class, very, very intense, very informative, and so from there I just paid a little bit more close attention to the institution, and was just finding ways to connect with them.
So that's how we got here. Well, we're very grateful, Baba, for real, for your time and all the gifts that you've already given and yet to come. Mama Tanya, Mama Foriwa, Mama Tanya, if you're able,
yes.
Greetings. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Oh, we're doing well. We're doing well. Uh, if I imagine that you're here because you have an interest, possibly somebody in your family might be taking Baba Baye's class. Is that possible? Is that true?
Yes, my son was interested. I was the one that asked because he's 15, and I know that the age range is a little younger, but he um he really needs to learn a lot of this information. So
Would you mind just telling a little bit, providing Baba Baye a little bit about yourself and your son, just to give him a background?
yes, we've been homeschooling pretty much his entire career. He's been homeschooling since the second grade. And we're here in California, and we don't have a lot of opportunities for African-centered enrichment or even homeschool co-ops. So yeah, I always try to look for things to kind of enrich that part of his education online. And he's 15. He'll be starting the 10th grade, and he's learned. He has a lot of knowledge, but we actually haven't covered a lot of the West African empires, so his knowledge there is pretty weak. So I thought that this would be a good overview class for him.
I agree.
Me too. Me too. And Baba from Jump had already cleared it where he can accept older children without any problem, and maybe and sometimes even younger children as well. So
Okay, yeah, this will be really good for him.
very good.
He'll enjoy it.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, give thanks, sister, for making the connection, and it's good to hear your voice again. Mama Aforiwa, are you still there? And if so, would you mind providing a little introduction as well?
Yes, I'm here. I'm like, what do I say? Where do I start? um, I I have a 13-year-old, and we've been homeschooling since he was in the belly, and we're been part of a few homeschooling co-ops and classes and field trips, and I just wanted him to be exposed to other people besides me, and a few handful of people. Just uh, what do I say? To hear about our culture and our history and gain a deeper understanding of it, and somebody who could lay it out the way it was described in the description of this class. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm so thankful that Baba Baye is doing this online, because every time I hear you speak at different um, events, I wish you were in DC. And I really would like my son to you and Baba Tashango. I wish he could be around you all day, every day.
Isn't that the
Wow.
truth?
Yes. um, I'm a Black Studies major. I majored at City College of New York back in the 90s. I graduated. So my heart is full when I see Sister help me. Please say your name I don't want to mess it up. Njadika.
Judaica.
Njadeka. See, I messed it up. Njadeka and Baba Kemit. And just a whole host of people I've seen on Facebook that's carrying on the work of
Right.
Dr. Clark and our esteemed elders. Well, I am truly, truly thankful, grateful. Thank you, Vidasi.
Yeah, Yanasada, my sister, and we thank you too because you're a community servant as well. So the different things that you provide, we thank you as well, and thank you for coming on tonight. I've been hearing
Thank you.
I heard a couple of ding dongs, and here's somebody coming now. If anybody is on the telephone, because I'm looking in our classroom right now, in Nakuya, Baye, Mama Foriwa, Mama Tanya, and myself. But if there's anyone who has joined us through the phone, would you mind please identifying yourself so we can acknowledge that you're here? And if you're not too shy, tell us a little something about yourself.
This is Mama Sadia
Mama,
from Brandon, Mississippi. I just joined in.
greetings.
Greetings, Mama.
So continue. Yes, you're in Brandon, Mississippi, and tell us about yourself and your beautiful family.
Well, we've been homeschooling for many years. I am homeschooling right now. The two last children, the middle and the baby son, but have been homeschooling for many, many years with the oldest. And we just have been loving the fellowship with everyone and just enjoy it, and it just work for our family. So we are a farming family, and just that sustainable living, trying to do it the best that we can, and try to help others learn. So that's what we do, and just grateful to be here.
Yes, and grateful to hear your voice again. It was good seeing you at Liberated Minds this year too, Mama. You and Salu and the baby. He's no baby anymore, but everybody's growing up. You're doing a beautiful blacktastic job.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Indeed. So, Baba Baye, you don't have to come back up if you can't or if you don't want to. But do you have any questions for any of the families that's joined you before you leave us this evening? Baba Baye, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Any questions that you have or any closing statements that you want to make to families who are here at this time?
I apologize. I had to get some water.
I can't wait.
I'm sorry?
I needed hydration as well. Go ahead.
Yes. So, no, I mean, I'm here to take questions. I really don't have any questions. I mean, I look forward to your children joining the class. I'm just actually telling Mama and Jacob this as I'm telling you all this. But I have one class that I won't be in. So I'm probably going to have to skip that week. And can we extend the week? Is that possible, or do we just make it up another day?
We do. We have options. So let's play it by ear. Let's see who all comes to your class. You can present that to the families, see what's kind of the consensus, and you can either double up. Your classes are, 90 minutes, so you can have a 2-hour class. You can extend it. We usually don't want to take it past our cutoff date, but we have in the past. We have taken it that next week. So let's just
do it or do it. Yeah, okay. I'll present that to the parents. That's a great idea.
I know, but thanks for letting us know up front. So can you tell us the date? Do you know which date that is?
I'm traveling out of the country on September the 26th. So I am endeavoring to do my class on the 30th from Africa.
Ah, Shay, yay. From Nigeria or Ghana or someplace else?
Nigeria.
All right. And we've done that before. So where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, I think that would be an excellent way to actually give them an upfront view of Africa. I just have to find a way to do something really nice and interesting. But the 7th is a class that I will be actually traveling back on that day, so I definitely won't be available on the 7th of October.
October 7th. Okay. And let's see.
I'm thinking though, but I'm actually thinking there's might be a way to kind of get around that. I'm thinking this, and I probably shouldn't even put this out in public, but I'm just going to say it, that maybe my wife may be willing to present, which would be good to give them a different voice, but it will be the same content. So we'll play around with that, and I'll let them know, because I'd rather not cancel the class. I'd rather have it keep going.
But, indeed. Yeah. Indeed. Would love.
Or maybe I can find a replacement. Like maybe I'll ask Baba Tashango to take over my class that Friday.
if you ask him if he has the time, I'm sure he'll be here. And like Sister said, we really, really appreciate him as well in all of his community offerings. So that would be special. So just
Yeah.
make it happen, Baba. Whatever it takes. We're very, very flexible. Just our children just need the continuity and the information.
That's a
Just
blessing.
to reiterate, for those of you who just relatively recently joined us, Baba Baye Kemit, we're talking about the African experience, um, and our historical journey through Africa. His classes will be offered on Fridays from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And the first class begins Friday, September 23rd. And this is a 10-week course. Not right now, but later on tonight, this evening, actually, not too long from now, he will have his means of payment up on our payment page. But you can go ahead and register on our registration page. If you did not receive a password from me, everyone that's previously and currently part of the Adesua Akura or Edu Village, I sent out passwords to who I believe was everybody. But if I missed you, let me know right now and I'll send you a password ASAP, because you'll need that password when you click on registration. It's password protected. So is class payment. So you just plug in the password and then continue with your endeavors, okay? So does everyone, Mama Tanya, Mama Foriwa, anyone else that might have joined us, Mama Sadia, did you all receive your password?
Yes, I did. This is Mama Sadia. I received it.
Okay, Madasi, thank you for that. Mama Foriwa,
I'll have to
check.
check. I don't recall.
I did say it was in a newsletter. And so I'm pretty sure your address was in the newsletter, but just make sure. And
How long ago did you send that?
that was this morning, because I
Oh,
didn't want to send passwords until the opening of registration, and that was today.
Oh, okay. I'll go back and I opened the email, but I didn't see a password. But I'll look again.
Oh, okay. Yes, please look, and then I'll look as well. But just communicate with me if you don't see it, and I'll definitely send it over again.
The email you sent for the class registration info for you?
Ane, you know what? Everybody that's on here right now, we're all part of the Edu Village, so I'll tell it to you. In fact, I'll type it in real quick here. But it's
Oh, okay. I see it. Sovereignty goal.
that's it. Sovereignty. It's all one word. Sovereignty is capital S and goal with a capital G, but it's all one word. Sovereignty goal.
Okay, got it.
Okay, Baba Baye,
Yes.
Modupwe, we thank you.
Kotape.
And families, we thank you so much for being here. I'm going to, this presentation is being recorded, and I'm going to take all of our presentations and try my best to upload them in all of our Walimu's personal pages at the website. So if it's yourself or someone that you know who wants to hear Baba's presentation again, just guide them over. It'll be on a page in which any guests are welcome to check it out. So any last questions or comments?
Mommy and Jake, I have one with the discount. Is that on the registration page when we go do everything? It updates automatically, or?
Ane, indeed. So the majority of our Walimu has, the majority, not everybody, but the majority has payment buttons. that when you click on that button of your choice, whatever, how many students and whatnot, that will automatically bring up the discounted price. And then after a week from now, then the regular prices will kick in. So if you have one child, regular price for Baba Baye's class is 100, but right now it's 85. A few of our Walimu has taken into consideration that fee that PayPal charges, so they actually added it on to their discounted price. But for the most part, everything should be on that class payment page. If you have any questions, just reach out and let me know, and I'll definitely try to resolve anything for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, everyone. Have a very, very productive, self-determined week. Same with, if you've already started your classes, then definitely hope you have an excellent, that includes you too, Baba Baye, you and the family experience. Everybody have a very, very productive and focused week. There's so many things trying to take us off the square right now. But stay focused. With that will, we will win. Just like our pledge said, we have won. So on that note, Odabo, Yubesia, and next week, join us next Sunday for the remainder of our presentations. 1 o'clock, from 1 to 3, and then 6 to 8.
All right.
Okay.